if you're new to C, you might realize that C doesn't actually have a string class that you could use like Java does. So for instance, in Java, you would have a line such as string C is equal to hello. And this would work as having declared a variable called C, which holds this string. Now this is made possible because of this string class, which is identified by the S being capitalized, which is just the norm for classes in Java. Now if you look at a language which is lower level, like C, you're going to realize that it's going to have strings declared as something like this. So here you're going to have a character array, which is identified by the char here, which is the data type, and this would be H, which is a character, which we have the 0th element in our array, and this would be the null identifier, which would be necessary for a character array in C. And the difference between both of these obviously would be that this seems much like more technical and more possibly less efficient to do. But the advantage with the second approach is that whatever you create here is mutable. On the other hand, whatever you create here is immutable. Now what does this mean? So if you have something in Java, let's say we've declared it here, and we try to declare this again, so we say C is equal to by, then what this will do is this won't actually put this in the location where the variable C was holding this hello. Rather, this would create another location for by to be placed, because C is not, it's immutable. On the other hand, if you had used this char array, then you could easily change all the characters, or in this case just pretty much H would be the primary one, but you could change this. But if, for instance, you had something more complex like H, E, and then Y, and then the null identifier, then you could change all three of these, and it would basically take up the same amount of space that it initially did when you initially declared it. That's the main advantage. Now, of course, there are a lot of advantages of using the string class in something like Java. So when it is available, and it's basically to use the functions that other people have made for a string class. And there's a lot in Java that are very commonly used, and this is not possible pretty much with using the array, because these functions don't exist for this, or don't exist as easily for this. Of course, you could make your own personal functions for this, but they're not publicly available. So those would be the main distinctions between using a character array versus just using the string class. In some languages like C, it's just not available, so you'd have to default to using something like this.